Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my process of making a precision wood inlay on a chopping board. We're going to be using Vectric V-Carve Pro, IGM CNC bits, and the IGM A24 CNC. From designing the file to cutting both parts on the CNC, through to sanding and finishing, this covers everything you need to get clean, reliable inlay results. So we start off in Vectric V-Carve Pro and we set the dimensions to our stock that's going to be carved. We then add an additional sheet for the plug that's going to go into the inlay. Once we've renamed it the appropriate settings, here is pocket, and the second one will be plug. This is often smaller and more to the size of the actual design. Once this is set, we select the pocket. This is the main board. We then go and import our bitmap or vector. In this case, it's a vector PNG. We then select the PNG and size it to our desired dimensions. Once we have the desired size, we're going to center it. And then we trace it. This will give us a vector outline of our design. We choose black and white and click preview. This will give us the idea of what we want. Click apply and then click close. Now that we have the vector, we're going to delete the border, just leaving the design. We then go to our toolpath and click the V-Carve inlay. Here we set the depths we want. Then we select the bit we want to use. In this case, the IGM V bit. And then an end mill for clearing. We then select what part this is. For this case, it's the plug. We're going to start with the plug. Make sure your vectors are selected and you won't get that error message. So this will automatically invert the picture on the opposing piece. So it's ready for inlay. It takes all the guesswork out. And there you have it. These are the toolpaths that the machine will use to cut the pocket. And now we move over to the plug. The plug will have a little bit more involved as we need to carve out the excess material on the sides so it sits flush into the pocket. We then choose the toolpath for the plug, click a profile cut, set the depth of the profile cut, and then choose the bit. In this case, we're using the 8mm end mill from IGM, and we're going to click it on the vector. Now we calculate the toolpath and we can view the preview. There you have it. Now we just preview all the toolpaths and see how it leaves the stock. There's the plug. Now we switch over to the pocket, which is the main board. And we can preview the toolpaths. This is the initial cut, which clears out the excess material, and then we do the finishing cut with the V-Carve bit. So that's pretty much it, guys. In terms of designing and setting the toolpaths, that's all that's involved. Now all we have left to do is export the toolpaths and head over to the CNC. So we're starting by putting double-sided tape onto the inlay plug. This secures the piece, along with clamps, onto the spoil board. I'm just using a triangle to make sure it's square. I now find center with the rule by going from opposing corner to corner and marking an X. This will give me center. Now clamping it down. And we're using the I2R clamps that come with the CNC. We're using the IGM end mill C191-86011. It's an 8mm upcut bit. Once the bit is secure, we probe Z. Just attaching the probe now to the back of the CNC and placing it under the end mill. This will tell the CNC where the tip of the end mill is 0. So let's get cutting. The end mill is going to do the clearing cut, which removes the bulk of the material from the plug. Now we're changing it over for the V-groove. This is a 60-degree V-groove, and this mark that I'm showing you is generally used to indicate where the bit goes up into the collet. Once again, we are probing the Z-axis. And now time to do the finishing pass on the plug. This will produce the details and the bevels needed to have a snug fit on the inlay. Okay, now that's done, we're going to remove it and put the end mill back in, because now we have to cut a profile cut which is going to allow us to put the plug into the inlay flush. Now that it's cut, we remove the excess material and it just leaves the plug. Now it's time to cut the main board, the pocket. We square it up and do the same procedure as before, double-sided taping it to the spoil board and clamping it down. Once again, we find center, going from corner to corner, marking an X. And probing Z. We have the end mill once again to do a clearing pass. This removes the bulk of the material. And once that's done, we put the V-groove bit back in. Probe. And then cut. So this V-groove bit is doing the pocket for the plug part we did earlier to fit in seamlessly. Usually, once everything has been cut, we would use a wire brush to remove any small fuzzy burr left behind, but in this case, the cut has been very clean and there's nothing left to remove. So all we have to do now is apply the glue. I'm using Tight Bond 3 because it's food safe and water resistant. I apply the glue into the pocket, not too much, just enough to coat the inside walls evenly. Then I press the plug in by hand. If the tool paths are accurate, it should slide in snugly with a bit of pressure. I clamp the board and let it dry fully before moving on. Okay, now that's been cured, we take it over to the bandsaw to remove most of the excess material. Once that's done, we take it to the Laguna 1632 drum sander. This will bring the remaining plug down flush to the board. And there you have it, we're going to apply some finish and there's your inlay, perfect. There you have it, guys. This brings us to the end of the video. We've got an inlay board done using the IGM A24 CNC and IGM bits. I think it looks good myself. What do you guys think? If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. And we'll see you in the next video. Happy woodworking.